Watch me ride.
Okay, this might get a bit ranty, but I do have something to talk about, and it's simple as this. Wonder if anyone will be there. No, not on this occasion. What is with all the design on the seat? Is this this is for your hole, and this is the sack track. It gives a real good grip on your sack. Okay, what I'm going to be talking about is consideration. Now, politeness and manners and stuff is something I believe in. They're very important. But there is another thing, which is spatial awareness, okay, and it's consideration for others. Now, if I'm walking around in somewhere like Tesco's, I will be looking at where people are going, see what they're doing, and I'll make sure that I can walk in a path that doesn't block anyone, doesn't obscure anyone. You know, I try and be considerate. Now, one of the easiest ways of being considerate is if you go to a lift, okay, and you press that button, what do you then do? I stand to the side, away from the doors, so when the people who are probably in the lift want to come out, no one's stood in their way. Every single time I get out of lifts, people are stood right in front of the fucking doors. Very often people with prams, fucking wheelchairs, all sorts of shit, right in front of the door. Now, what level of inconsideration does that show that you couldn't even consider there might be someone coming out of the fucking lift? But that is a prime example of how people are so up their own arses when they're in public that they can't be polite or considerate to others. Do you know, I'd really love to be able to film, like, walking through Tesco's or something and just show, like, all the people who just blindly wander around and stand in the middle. You know, it's like people who walk into Tesco's or into your local shop and then stand on the fucking doormat and have a conversation with someone they see coming out. No, move out the twatting way, then have your conversation. It's the same as people who park on double yellow lines for 5 minutes, because, oh, it's only 5 minutes, but I put my hazards on, so that makes it okay. I'm completely blocking this junction and all these other people, but you know what? Fuck them, because I'm only going to be 5 minutes, and I'm going to put my hazards on. Fuck off. Oh! Yeah, okay, I said it would be ranty, and it got ranty. But the point is, slow down for the speed bumps, you fool. But of all things on earth that can piss me off more than anything, and actually Reno's quite similar, it's just walking around in public. We are very similar people, you know, we will pay attention to what other people are doing. You know, if someone's walking towards you, I don't mind moving aside. You know, I don't mind. I just think that all people should be constantly aware of what they're doing out in public, so you don't inflict any inconvenience on anyone else. And then everyone has a better time because no one's getting in each other's way, no one's getting riled up. But yeah, the standing in the doorway of the lift when you press the button, when you're not in it, is the most annoying one on earth, because I've had face-offs with people. Literally, I'm stood inside the lift by the door waiting to come out. The door's open and they're stood there right in front of me, and I'm like, yeah? And they just look at you like you're about to move out of the way for them. No, if you want to get in the lift, you have to get out the fucking way, you imbecile. Now, I am aware that I have extremely good spatial awareness. This comes from being a chef, because when you're working in a kitchen, you have to know exactly where you are in relation to the other people you're working with, because it's very dangerous. You know, you've got fryers, you've got grills, you've got people with knives, etc, etc. Now, I've worked with people with bad spatial awareness, and they're the people who I turn around to find them walking towards me at full pace with like a 12-inch carving knife like that in their hand, and it's literally poked me in the belly, but I've moved out of the way just in time before it actually stabbed me. That is the level of, like, what some people can be like in a kitchen. It's freaking dangerous. You know, it's really not that difficult to just look at your surroundings, pay attention to where people are, and work out where they're probably walking. You know, it's the same as if you're driving, you have to time gaps. You know, you see someone walking towards you, you're like, I realise at the pace that we're both walking, we're going to end up walking into each other. So I might slow down, I might speed up, I might change the trajectory that I'm walking, but I'll make sure that I don't get in anyone's way. But I'll have people walk headlong into me, looking at me, pushing their trolley. They can see I can go nowhere else. I'll move right to the side to keep out of the way. And they'll literally keep walking until they walk into you. And that's why I worry about the human intelligence. You know, every now and then my faith gets restored by things, but every day it gets dented by fucking idiots. And I don't think that they're actually stupid. I think it's people get in this little bubble in their head where they're just thinking about them and them and them and them and them and I and them and I. You know, it's all about them. They don't consider that they might be being a complete nuisance to other people around them. I realise these are not big things to be getting stressed out about. It's just they're fucking annoying. And if I can change just one or two people's way, they're like, shit, I stand in the doorway of lifts when I press the button to get on all the time, and I'm always in people's way, and I never really thought about it. If you, because of this video, stop doing it, and even if it never comes back to me, it was worth it because someone out there has not had to say, oh, get out the way, you dumb twat. One of the #1 causes, in my opinion, of just the way that we as humans don't get on quite so well with each other. You know, if we're too close to each other, we start to argue. You know, you get bitchy neighbours. It's just a lack of consideration and a little bit of, you know, selflessness is what's needed. It's a buzzard. Look, can you see him? Ah! 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 No, it's not. He did react. Eat the squirrel, mate. There's a dead squirrel back there. Yeah, you know, humans have never gone with each other very well. But you know what? I think wars could be stopped if people would be a little bit more considerate to each other and have a little bit of selflessness to understand that each person has their own right to be in a place, and if you are, you know, if you give each other equal rights to be in that place, you know, keep out of each other's way, you're not going to have a conflict. Okay, I've said my bit. I'm going to leave it there. I feel like I'm less likely to rip the head off of someone who has stood in the doorway of a lift in future now. I feel like I've vented on the subject a little bit. Because I have been so close on so many occasions to just stand there going, hey, so did you not consider the fact that this is a lift and someone might need to get out? And in fact, everyone needs to get out so you can get in. Are you that much of a stupid, inconsiderate prick that you can't actually think that someone might be in this lift because, you know, this world is yours and everything is about you? You twat! And to this date, I have resisted doing that on every single occasion. But one day, I swear to God, I will snap. Anyway, thank you for watching. Like the video if you agree, dislike the video if you disagree. If you're disliking the video because you disagree with me, you think that standing in doorways of lifts is a good idea when someone's trying to get off, you're a fucking moron and I don't give a shit. Fuck off. No one in their right mind can consider doing that as being the right thing to do.